So hello everyone, it is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're getting another 5 brands to dupe themselves video. So I don't actually have 5 brands to dupe themselves this time. I only have 3, but they had like 4 or 5 dupes within themselves, so I was like, we're gonna go with it. So I noticed when I did my was it Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions video recently, I tried to remember to put it up there, that what is it? Huda Beauty had dupes in her collection. So I was like, well, how many other dupes does she have in her collection? So I had found one previously. So I'm putting, like, it might be cheating because I'm putting like a palette in here that was similar, but I'm not putting the palette that I compared it to the first time. I'm comparing it to a different palette that just recently came out. So that's why I figured it wasn't cheating. Then I got Colourpop and all, of course, because I mean, as many times as Colourpop comes out with stuff, they can't not dupe themselves. They do a lot of the same things pretty frequently, so that's why I was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about them. Then I have some BH Cosmetics, believe it or not, because God forbid they be outdone by Colourpop. They've been trying to come for Colourpop for like the last 2 years, so here's your chance to shine with Colourpop and trying to come up with same color stories or similar enough color stories to where you got yourself in this video too. How about that? Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So I'll get the one out the way that I said was I had put in the video before, but it's not the same palette that I'm comparing it to. So I have the Nude Rich from Huda Beauty. If y'all remember, I compared it to the Mauve Obsessions palette before. I'll try to remember to link these videos up above too, because I think I have 2 of them now, and this makes number 3. But this time I'm comparing it to the Chocolate Brown Obsession. So I'm not comparing the tones, I'm comparing, like, you know, color story and the color placement in the palettes, but I feel like they did almost the same, the way they place the colors and things like that. This is what they both look like. And do you notice pattern? Because like you always have a certain amount of shimmers or a certain amount of mattes, and she always does like that same grading for the most part. And then like the tones she used, just because they're brown tones, I feel like she just used similar tones in this one, except they're more like on the bearish tone. These are more on the actual chocolate tones, since most people think of nudes, they think of, you know, chocolate nudes, whereas Huda is like me, and when she thinks of nudes, she thinks of like mauves and berries. But either way, it's like the same concept. I feel like the color placement is pretty similar, and it's like the same amount of mattes and shimmers, if I remember correctly. So I'm just like, you out here duping yourself, girl. Like I said in the Wild Obsessions video, you're supposed to be duping other people, Huda, not yourself. Public service announcement. Now I didn't swatch this one. I'm not gonna swatch this one because this is actually the one that goes in your 500 giveaway, and we made it. I'm just trying to hold off a little bit to make sure we actually stay at the 500 and it doesn't drop, because sometimes on my channel, like, I'll have stuff go up to like a certain number and then it'll just randomly drop because YouTube starts, like, I guess dropping people, or people just change their mind. I don't know, y'all. So that's why I haven't like put that video up. I'm trying to hold off to the end of next week just to make sure that it stays where it is before I start. So the next one I have to talk about is actually in the Huda Beauty Obsessions video, where I told her to stop duping herself. So I figured I'd show it here too, because I don't know who saw the Huda Beauty video and who didn't. But this is the original Smoky Obsessions palette versus the Jaguar Wild Obsessions palette. As you can see, the tones in here are quite similar. Like, the only difference is there's some purple tones in here, but even like those darker tones, like when I swatched them against this one in that video, they look exactly the same. The only difference was like this like tone right here, and obviously the purples weren't there, and then like this was a little bit lighter than the one that's in the original Obsessions palette. The gold was a little bit dimmer, but it's like the premise and the similarities of it were the same. Like even this shade right here is the same as this shade right here, believe it or not. But like I said, I'll link the video up there so you can see like the swatches. That's why I was like, girl, stop duping yourself. Like, I mean, like, I know this palette, I think it's like 2 years old or something like that, so it's like this is just an upgraded version of this palette. She added like a different color in it, but it's like, I've already got this one, I don't really need this one. If I didn't have a channel, I probably wouldn't have bought this one, because it looks very similar to this one. And even like the thumbnail, I used the this palette against the other one just so y'all can see like it's similar enough to where you don't have to have this palette and the original if you have it already. So Huda girl, stop duping yourself, okay? I mean, like, I already told Colourpop this, but we told them about pressed glitters and sequin shadows years ago, but they still ain't got the message. So I mean, like, it's probably gonna take them a while to get the message. But I'm gonna start off with High Tide versus Rumor Has It, because I feel like they couldn't decide with rumor has it if they wanted to do like the tealy shades or like more of the blue shades like they had already another monochromatic palette, so they just combined them both. But then when they got the idea from stealing out of this palette to make this palette, so I'm like, you're duping yourself, because it's like you got these teals and then you made a whole palette of teals after you did half teals and half blues. Like, you could have just gave us this palette and let this go. But oh no, there's more blue, because of course Colourpop loves to make monochromatic rainbow-ish palettes, so of course we have more of that. Then we have the On Cloud Blue and the Blue Moon. Now, I do love when Colourpop makes blue palettes. That's why I own so many of them, as you can see. But it's like, everybody might not like that. And girl, just, you know. See what I'm saying? Like, they have the same type of placement in the way that they did the shades. And the fact that they made, like, 4 all blue palettes. It's like, girl, stop duping yourself. I mean, I know they're different tones of blue, but it's like, did a different concept, girl. Like, everybody tired of monochromatic palettes now. Like, when y'all first came out with it, with the Ooh La La palette, it was cute or whatever. And then you came out with It's My Pleasure and Blue Moon and all that stuff. It was cute. But it's like, now we done came to, like, pastel versions of it. And now we got where we mix it. And then we got teal version. It's like, girl, just stop. Stop duping yourself. Just stop. You free yourself. Stop duping yourself, girl. Just stop, girl. Girl, just stop. Same thing with the purples. I have like 3 different purple palettes from them. So again, it was like, they were like, well, we already made y'all 2 different purple palettes. So they were like, It's My Pleasure, which is like still one of my favorite monochromatic palettes from them. This one and Blue Moon are like my all-time favorites, and Ooh La La. But then they were like, no, we're gonna do the lighter version. But then that wasn't good enough, so then they was like, we're gonna combine both the palettes and give you this one. It's like, girl, how many purples do I need? It's like they combined, again, they combined the lighter tones from Lilac You Lie. They combined some of the berry and deeper tones from It's My Pleasure to make this palette right here. But it's like, if I already have these 2, why did we need this? And then the Y2K collection is what the reason I have those over here now, because it's like, you're going to dupe yourself with that one too, because it's like, I have a feeling it's going to be a mixture of that and like some lighter pinks or something like that. And it's just like, girl, just stop duping yourself. Just stop. I mean, I know it's hard because you try to come up with stuff every 20 minutes, but maybe, you know, not try to come out with stuff every 20 minutes and then you won't have to worry about duping yourself because you came out with everything over and over and over and over again. There's an idea. Also, maybe stop with the pressed glitters and the sequin shadows, since everybody keeps telling you they don't want them. I mean, I know we had this discussion before, but it seems like we need to have it again. So, just stop. Okay, thanks. So, the last ones I have to talk about are like 2 new ones that came out versus 2 old ones that came out from BH Cosmetics. Now, I know these aren't exact. These are the ones that are like the least exact and the least similar. But I feel like they were similar enough to where I would mention them, especially since when I put them in my videos, I felt like they were somewhat similar. So, it's not close enough to where it'll be like, oh my god, it's exactly the same. But I feel like there were some things in them that made them similar enough to where I would, you know, like put them in here. So, we have Blueberry Muffin and Passion in Paris. Now, you can see they're not literally exact, but I feel like they took the same theme as far as color story goes and just changed some of the colors around. Like, you see they have the darker ones, and then they have some berry tones, and then they have, what is this? Some mauve-ish tones. So, they have mauves, purples, and a little bit of berry, whereas with this one, they tried to focus mainly on, like, blueberry, and it's, like, some deeper berries. I'm sorry about the, you know, police car, I can't control that, but see what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the theme was the same and they just placed the colors in different places, and this one's just a little bit darker than this one. So I'm not saying they're exact, but I feel like the way they went about putting the color story together and the placement of the shadows is the same as this palette. Same thing with the Mimosa palette and Party in Puerto Rico. Although these, I feel like I might be cheating on. They're not like super close, because I feel like this one is definitely more warm tone, whereas this one is like, I guess, a little bit more summery and peachy. Whereas this is like that super warm tone back in the day, like Natasha Denona's Sunset palette or whatever. So they were somewhat similar. So I feel like I was cheating a little bit with that. But, you know, we're here now, so it's too late. But this one is actually currently on sale on Beauty Bay for like $10. And it just came out, mind you. So, like, you might want to check on Beauty Bay to get this instead of paying them the $17. Because But I mean, it might be about the same if you don't buy anything else on Beauty Bay besides this, because their shipping, I think, is like $6.50. So that's up to you. But this one is $10.50, and they had like an extra 20% off sale going on currently. So that makes this palette like $8 or something like that. Anyway, I felt like those were somewhat similar, and they was kind of trying to, you know, that Colourpop route of like duping themselves because they see it works for Colourpop, and nobody ever like really stops buying Colourpop. I mean, I feel like all of us have slowed down with Colourpop just because you keep doing the same thing, girl. I'm tired. I'm tired. But we still keep buying it for a good majority of the time. So I guess BH Cosmetics is like, yeah, we're gonna slide and try to steal some of that money too, because they doing it and ain't nobody saying anything, and people starting to like our formula now. So we're gonna do the same thing. We'll do somewhat similar color stories and take your coin. And apparently it worked, because we sitting here with like all 4 of these palettes. So there you go. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, y'all in diamonds, let me know if you thought any of these were similar enough to where they should have been in this video, or let me know if you disagree and they weren't similar enough. Because I feel like the BH Cosmetics moves were somewhat of a stretch, but at the same time, I felt it was important to put them in here just to see what your thoughts were on them. Because it was somewhat my thoughts. You heard my thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts. Anyway, like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.